I'm not forcing the deserters to go back there. No, I'm not. I cannot condemn the deserters to that life. Whereas I could quite easily condemn them to a life of apparent sick-free existence with food at the botanical labs, assuming they actually get their act together and move out, rather than just, you know, sitting down and patiently waiting to die. Is that what they're gonna do if I turn the power off there? And you just don't want to talk to me?
Yeah, huh?
I didn't talk to the priest, to the vicar, maybe. I know he's depressed about the book thing. Maybe he will finally come through and say something useful. Nope. Okay, Parvati, it's now or never if you're going to say something exceptionally wise and helpful and give me another way to deal with this problem. It's time.
Where are we headed?
We're here. Fine. Then I'm turning the power off for Edgewater, I'm afraid. I think I looted everything out here. And then the people of Edgewater are going to have to, well, come to terms with that and move to the botanical lab. It's actually for their own benefit. I mean, you could say you're being selfish. You don't have to direct the power from there. You could accept that your ship is never going to be fixed and will always be stranded here, and you could live at peace and harmony with the world in the botanic labs. But then the people of Edgewater are going to die anyway, because we're pretty sure they're killing themselves. So I'm doing them a favour? Yeah, that sounded weak sauce to me too. Alright. Plant status. Operating at 22% efficiency. Okay. Alright, so it's not done anything yet. I was thinking it was going to give me options here. Safety failures detected. High likelihood of moderate to severe structural damage. Redirecting power is irreversible procedure. Error. Power redirection function has failed. Manual override required. Please activate all 3 electrical track switches. Oh, right. Those are the switches we saw when we were first here.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
Yeah. Feel free to jump in with ever so useful advice. Yep. Any time now with the helpful advice. I can feel it coming. I can feel you just preparing, ready. Hey, I've got a great idea. Just waiting for it. Okay, I think this is one of them. How do I know where I'm redirecting it, though? How do I know where I'm redirecting it?
Yeah, huh?
Still nothing. Fine.
There's 2 more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale?
Well, they'll have to go back. And they'll hate it. Or some of them won't, and they'll die.
Something you need?
I need to loot that. But so this is why I'm I mean, she said I could redirect. Right, she did say I could redirect it for them. Yeah? Optional, speak to the vicar, done that. The vicar... the vicar might be able to offer some moral guidance. He didn't, though. Adelaide proposed that you divert the geothermal plant's output to the botanical lab, depriving Edgewater of power. The plant's master control terminal is reporting that 3 switches must be activated before you can redirect power. So, okay, so I've got to flick the switches, then I can redirect the power. So I choose where to redirect it once I've engaged all the power switches, right? It doesn't automatically go. Am I going the right way or the wrong way? I sort of feel like that is barred. Alright. Was there a switch in here? I'm not seeing one. Could be a switch down there. Let's just... Oh, right, this just goes round to where I was looking at earlier. So we just keep going, looking for these switches. Then we go back up and we make a choice. And we've already made the choice. I just can't believe Parvati's going to be particularly happy with this choice. Surely her friends are going to... You're the one that I set up to... Right?
Mechanicide protocols currently active. Please do not interrupt.
Right. No problem. Where was the other switch? That's a workbench. That's not what I was looking for. Where is the other switch? There's... Alright. A raised platform. We go up here. And... Aha!
Where'd they go?
One.
If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Veil?
Well, I guess they're not going to be happy, and then they move? Maybe?
Unexpected. Trespassers terminated.
Okay. Dead now. Alright, I, for some reason, thought everything down here was killed. Right, I set them to fight against each other, which logically means there would always be one left. Yes. I was sort of hoping he would have found the last one and dealt with it, but, okay, and... Number 3.
The last. I'm not sure what the right is. Alls I know is the decision's final.
Can you give me some advice?
Yeah, huh?
You don't know what's right then, so you're not going to judge me one way or the other? Please? You know, Bard. Okay, that opens to there. And this opens to here. Which way did we want to go? Whichever way we wanted to go, I went the wrong way, so let's just go with it. I am still not 100%...
Once we do this, there's no going back.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not 100% sure how this benefits me either. Because then we've got to hope we can get the power regulator from Edgewater, because they don't need it anymore, but that really doesn't sound like a likely scenario, because why would they give me the power regulator? Thing is, I mean, we redirect the power to the Botanic Labs. Everyone realises the gig's up at Edgewater. They all move to the Botanic Labs. And once they go, we nip in and take the power regulator. Come on, there's got to be some...
Where are we headed?
You see, I honestly think this should be your decision. It's your communities.
Hey, mister?
Whoa.
Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Oh, God, thank you. I would not mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry.
Oh.
That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Reed tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers and power. I'm ready to make a decision. I'm not ready to make a decision. Reed tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers and power. Plus, everyone's dying of the plague.
Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point.
Oh, God.
Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
But the deserters are a community. I can't just destroy what they built. Can I?
Miss McDevitt's been using corpses in her fertilizer. The thought just makes my skin crawl. Sure, she's found a solution, but it ain't exactly pleasant. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
No. Okay. I see your point. I think I'm ready to make a decision. No, I mean... I did just say that I thought it should be your decision, not mine. And you've got good points, I guess. I see your point. I think I'm ready to make a decision. Am I?
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
No, I'm glad you did. Oh, good grief. No, I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you. So you think I should actually redirect the power to Edgewater? Like, the lesser of two evils. You're saying that if I turn the power up to Edgewater, it's just going to wipe them out. They're just going to get wiped out. And the Adelaide, as classy as she seems, is kind of doing it out of spite because of her son, which does make sense. And yes, she's using corpses to fertilise the crops, which is weird, but it was better than some of the alternatives I was thinking of. Okay, I'm glad you told me. Yes, I liked hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Right. Although, can I just point out, I've spent the last, I don't know, couple of hours agonising over the fact that I had to make a decision and had made the decision to redirect power to the botanical lab. And now you've just sprung it on me now? Now? Couldn't you have just convinced me of that a couple of hours ago so I could... Because now I'm agonising over the opposite. Because now I mean, 10 seconds ago I was worried about what the hell I was going to say to the people of Edgewater and also how I was going to get the power regulator. But now I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to say to the people of the Botanical Lab, who are a lot nicer people? Granted, the people of Edgewater, it's not their fault. They're just brainwashed and... I did say it should be your decision, didn't I? I did. All right. Redirect power. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Redirect power to Edgewater. That's what she wants me to do. That's what she said to do. She was the one who wanted me to find an alternative way of doing it, but now she's sort of finally realised there's no other way. It's got to be this, or Edgewater's going to die and everyone's going to die. Okay. It's her choice. Power to Edgewater. I am so going to need to shower forever once I have done this. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm pressing the button. Yeah, I'm redirecting the power to Edgewater. Yes, I am. I'm doing it. Okay. What is going on? Just... Space's choice reputation increased. Got a feeling. Alright. This. Convince the deserters to return. Convince the deserters to return? Okay. Convince them to return. Right, whoa. Is this... Okay, deserters... Wait a minute. The deserters are revering? Okay. There is a negative. There's a negative, but there's a... Oh, so it doesn't... It's not like this goes down and then this goes up. Both can be at the same time. The community of disillusioned workers... Right, okay. Okay. Tell me I did the right thing.
I think you did the rightest thing you could, sending the power back to Edgewater.
Thank you.
A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they didn't care much for me.
Okay. We've got to go get the power regulator, which means going to Botanical Lab, which... Now, they do still like me. I've helped them out a little bit, but is it possible? Is it possible now that they might think, hey, let's shoot him a lot? Because honestly, that's sort of what I'd be thinking right about now. Which is odd, because right about now I'm thinking, did I actually loot everything when I was here last time? This probably shows some sort of deep character flaw on my part, but I'm oddly relieved now. Because whilst it's not the decision I would have actually made, the fact that it's not my decision really works for me. Yes, it does. I'm not saying I'm going to point the finger at you and blame you for it. I'm going to stand by your choice. I will totally stand by your choice. As far as I'm concerned, it is the right choice now because you made it. But just like deep down underneath, I'm so glad that I didn't have to make it. They're not going to be... Just... Right. Here's the thing. We need to get the regulator. So we have to get down there. And I sort of want to face them and at least... You know... Look them in the eye. And tell them why we did it. But I'm worried they're going to pull weapons on us and we're going to have to kill them. Or they'll kill us, obviously. Oh, dear. Right. Stefan Garcia. Zoe. Okay, Zoe.
How do you expect me to enjoy the adventures of the masked marketeer with no power?
Yeah, right, I was...
I know, I'm trying to think.
Okay, guys.
Food's bound to spoil at this rate.
I'm, Okay, Thomas.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
Okay, where's Adelaide? Where's... Okay. Sealed? Adelaide? We're coming in. Please don't be thinking of doing anything really, really stupid. I know you're not going to be happy with me. And I can understand that. Only you. Sealed. I do. I understand that. I just, I want a chance to explain it without things going really, really badly. Okay, have I walked right past her? It's really, really dark in here. Was she out there? Was she out there and I just didn't see her? I did not see her. That's a possibility. No, deserter, Okay.
One of us want to go see what happened?
Yeah, but where?
What happened? Sprat fell into a transformer again?
Grace Romero, no, you're just Stefan.
Don't see why Thomas can't just get the generator up and running.
Right, they don't know.
Something I can help you with?
They do not know. They do not know. They do not know. Grace?
Move along.
Okay, out of curiosity, Where?
What happened? Sprat fell into...
Where is she? I'm not seeing her. But I'm getting the feeling she's dead ahead.
I know, I'm trying to...
I don't know why I'm thinking that. Why am I thinking that? Okay. Is it... Oh, is this where the power regulator thing is? Right, okay. The power regulator is in here, is it? Got it. Ah! Yeah, okay. Ooh.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Right. Reed needs his people back. Parvati would explain this way better. She would explain this way better. Reed needs his people back.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
I'm willing to deal with Reed for you. You're being unreasonable. Come back to Edge. I'm willing to deal with Reed. Do I mean what I think I mean there? I'm willing to deal with Reed for you. I mean, I could mean I mediate between the two of you and say, okay, just, you're being unreasonable. Come back to Edgewater.
As long as Reed is still in Edgewater, I will not return. Those are my terms.
So if Reed's gone, you'll return. Let's just say I was willing to deal with him for you.
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
That would be better. Reed isn't going to just leave his post. I'll need some help convincing him. Yes! Yes!
Tell him what I have already told you. That I know the secret to bringing life back to the soil. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years.
Yeah, we know.
Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
Yeah, what happens when you run out of corpses? See, there's the question.
Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Okay. All right. So she told me to talk to... Who did she tell me to talk to? She told me to... Optional, remove Reed from Edgewater. Adelaide refuses to return to Edgewater unless Reed is out of the picture. Her people will follow her back to town if she returns. Didn't she... Here we go. Adelaide refused to move back. You may have more luck convincing some of the other deserters. In particular, she suggested Grace or Thomas.
Food's bound to spoil
Thomas?
at this rate.
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
You won't survive long without power. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again.
So don't work in the cannery. You want to be an engineer. You want to be an engineer.
You know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one.
Good man.
I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her.
Leave Adelaide behind, then Edgewater needs you. Why? Stay put. I'm trying to talk... Yeah. Stay put, then.
You know where to find me.
I'm trying to talk... Okay. I should go. So I should talk to them after... She said Grace, didn't she? After I've convinced Reed to step
Marauders
down.
can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
There's nothing left for you here. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
The matter's been weighing on me. Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep Marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Thompson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again.
Don't do anything hasty. I'm trying to talk to Reed into stepping down.
Sure, suit yourself. I'll be here.
Can I do that? Can I convince him to step down? I mean, I'm a charming SOB, but I mean... How charming am I going to have to be to convince him to step down? But if he could step down and Adelaide shows them how to do the fertilized crops, not only would they be fine again, able to, you know, work, they've got power, they've got workers, they would also be free of the plague, probably, assuming it is from what they're putting into that machine. And at this point, I'm pretty sure it is. This could work. You may have made the right decision in more ways than one. I guess this is going to be the big test, really, isn't it? Is Thompson in this for the power, or is he genuinely in it for the Spacer's Choice family? Will he do the right thing and step aside, or will he tell people to shoot me? Right.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
So... yeah, I spoke to Adelaide, and she won't come back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town.
Right, but your best... okay. The town's terrified of the plague. Abernathy asked me to steal medicine for him. The town's a mess, Reed. It is. I mean, the town's terrified of plague, and Abernathy asked me to steal medicine for him. Is that going to get Abernathy into trouble? It's probably going to get him into trouble, isn't it? Your town's a mess, Reed.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't sick with the plague. Let that sink in.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
The town doesn't eat anything but salt tuna. Of course, you're going to get sick. Have you people ever eaten an actual vegetable?
The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree?
Do not
tempt me. We are a
tempt me.
Spacer's Choice salt tuna cannery. We eat salt tuna here, and only salt tuna.
I'm pretty sure it's your food that's making you sick. You need Adelaide's garden. What exactly are you putting in those cans? We've already had this conversation. You need Adelaide's garden.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanist couldn't grow decent crops for us. So the company got rid of him and shut down the greenhouse.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down. Should I tell him how, though? Because I can't imagine he's going to like that. But yes, she's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
Didn't she actually lie? Look, Reed, all I know that it involves some complicated math and it works. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the good one. Yep, math. It's all about the math. It's science stuff. Way too complicated for me.
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs.
Really?
I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
You don't have to do this yet. Okay, curious. What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You won't last a day outside the walls, you know, you don't have to do this. Can't be. Yeah, I'm not. No. I don't want to give him any ideas that he doesn't have to do this. This can't be easy for you. That's true. I'll be honest with you, gained a little respect, seeing as he's accepted that she's better for the town, therefore he will step aside. This cannot be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Okay then. Well, I'm definitely not convincing him that he doesn't have to do this in case he goes, yeah, you're right, I'm not stepping down. Then, take her. Okay. Gotta give the man a bit of respect. He was deadly serious about doing what was required to, you know, get this town back on its feet. I'm sort of glad I didn't tell him about the fertilizer, though. I have this odd, warm, fuzzy feeling. A feeling I've not had since I crash-landed here. I believe it's called hope. It makes me a little nervous because that's usually when something falls out of the sky and squashes you. But yeah, I'm feeling like things might actually go my way. I may get the regulator, and Edgewater and the deserters may all be happy, except for Thompson, which is sad a little, because it turned out he was a stand-up guy in the end. Where the hell was the door? There. But overall, one person being out of a job versus all the other potential misery. Okay.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
I'm not a snake. Could you stop with that? I've talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Okay. Edgewater's better off... I made a mess of things. I'm just trying to say it right. No, I didn't... No, definitely not. I think this was the master plan all along. Edgewater's better off with you running the place.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted.
Well, yeah, that was the plan all
I
along.
might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Okay, well... Alright then. Can I take this now? The power regulator? Are you gonna be... Because... That's kind of what this was all about, sort of, in a strange way. Are we all happy now? Thomas?
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
You don't need to figure out anymore. Adelaide tells me she's moving back to Edgewater.
Adelaide said that? Was she sober at the time? I never imagined she'd step foot in Edgewater long as Reed ran the town. Something must have changed in Edgewater. Adelaide's good as family. If she's going back, so are we.
Excellent. Grace was the other one, she said, right?
Never liked Reed much. Can't say I'm sorry he's gone.
Yeah, me neither. Oh. Stefan?
Standing around the campfire is nice and all, until one of us starts singing.
Yeah, that's...
Something I can help you with?
That would be awful. No, not right now. I just... Did I not need to talk to anyone else then? You're going back to...
I'm glad Adelaide's coming back to town with us. With Reed gone, we're gonna need her leadership.
Okay, so just talking to you was good enough. How about you?
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Okay, I will. Speaking of rest, I need to get this power regulator into the ship, which will hopefully allow me to open some doors and maybe actually get some well-deserved rest. You know, and fly the ship. And, much more importantly, give me somewhere to store all this crap.